So you go by Silas, right?
Yeah, Silas, man.
And it's Adams.
Silas Adams.
Such a cool.
It's okay. Silas is also the name of a serial killer on Da Vinci Code.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
snap.
Oh, shit.
I know. So they're like,
Well, with that, we got a potential serial killer on the podcast tonight.
walk by 5 of them a year or something like that. Right?
Well, there is this. I will say there's a special statistic that I've heard before that I'll share with you because of our guests.
Okay.
It's a jiu-jitsu statistic. You're more likely to walk past a murderer on the street than a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
That's true.
Facts. And without further ado, we have Silas Adams, who isn't a black belt, not a black belt. Someday might be a white belt
Like, not
if
now.
he goes back full time.
Full time.
What would it take you to get a black belt from where you're at right now?
Ooh, man. I'm a no-stripe brown belt, and I don't do competitions, at least not anymore. So it would take probably me competing again in the newer rule sets and having a proven track record of success there, right? So
With like the 50-50 rule, like with leg locks and
yeah,
things
with
now.
leg locks and stuff like that, like the more common rule sets. I mean, IBJJF just changed their rule set to allow some leg locks, especially at the brown belt level, but for me to actually get back in there and like start to get promoted and matriculate through the ranks again, especially under Danny and Nick over at Movement Art, it's like I would need to be a high-level competitor.
Yeah, so that's the gym, that's your gym now?
Yeah, it's my home gym, Movement Art. Nick and Danny just opened that up. They got their black belts under Mike Musumeshi, who just rolled in the ADCC comp with Gio.
I watched it.
It was a pretty good match. It was pretty solid.
It was really exciting. It was really cool. It's always really cool to see the high movement, the high functioning thought process at that.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, and Gio said it in his post interview. Him posturing up, standing back up was probably not the best move.
Yeah.
At that point in that match, but I mean, Mikey is a savage. Danny and Nick are savages. So
I really like. I don't know either of those guys. I really like their branding. Their video and their content online is really great. Honestly, I think there's so much room at the table for jiu-jitsu gyms in the area. Like, I'm happy as long as they're good gyms and like they're good people and everything like that. I'm happy to see more of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
More people training. I think. Like I get the competition between gyms, but like more people training is overall better for the sport.
Absolutely. And especially if you have athletes that transition into different gyms, learn different styles.
Yeah.
See different things on the mats. You are better and more equipped to handle different things on the mats by going to different gyms. You know what I mean? So I'm always a big proponent of people cross-training at different gyms. I really like Nick and Danny's teaching style.
Yeah.
Very, very detail-oriented. They have a high-level conception of the sport. So
they still do that kind of like traditional class set where they're doing like instructional and then roll live training after.
Yeah, instructional, and then you go 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, and then they do the live sparring.
Cool.
So
that's legit. They do like private training and stuff like that over there too, or no?
I think they do.
Some gyms just like the people don't have the bandwidth to do it. It's a lot of work.
And they have got a lot of really good purple belts, really good brown belts there too. So like even if you can't get a private with Danny or Nick, I'm sure one of the the browns or purples, they're going to give you the same level of instruction.
That's a huge thing. Somebody random that doesn't even train brought that up to me this morning. They're like, "How?" That's so weird. They were like, "How's that work? Like, are higher belts like in class, or with like lower belts? Like, who's trained? Like, you're doing live training, but is it just a bunch of white belts like not really learning anything? Like, how's that all work?" So, when people ask, or the times I've talked about it with people, I'm like, when you look for a gym, you want to see like a good diversification of ranks. Like, if it's lopsided any which way, like the middle ranks, lower, upper, like. It's a different experience than if you have like a little bit of everything.
That is true. If there's one black belt teaching the class, there's 16 brown belts, one blue belt, and a few white belts. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be geared towards more the brown belts, and those white belts are going to get tougher rolls, So it also probably leans them to get discouraged a bit because the entire class is top heavy, live sparring is top heavy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have brown belts smashing white belts.
Yeah, because
I'll heel hook a white belt. I don't really care, but like, but like,
yeah,
that's
quote that.
I'll heel hook a white belt.
Like that's
Yeah, you came here for this. Yeah, that's how you know. You just like whisper in his ear, like, you're paying for this.
Yeah.
This comes with your membership.
Exactly.
No, that's awesome. So like overall, how long like were you training up until you took like your little break?
Yeah, so 2004 is when I started. I got stationed in California, 29 Palms. Give a shout out to the worst base in the Marine Corps, for sure.
You'll have to come back to that.
But started training out of 29 Palms out of a small gym. Met a guy who was training out of 10th Planet, LA. And him and I.
And that's Eddie Bravo's gym.
Bravo's gym, yeah.
And if those of you who don't know Eddie Bravo, he believes in flat Earth. And he's also nasty at jiu-jitsu.
He's a nasty jiu-jitsu guy.
So we allow it.
But yeah, I mean, started training there in 2004 with a buddy of mine. Deployed a couple times. Continued training. Hopped around to different 10th planets in that, California area.
Yeah.
And I ended up, just before I got out of the Marine Corps in 2012, I like cut it off because I was like, all right, well, now I got to focus on transitioning out of the Marine Corps, fucking going back to school.
Oh yeah,
all that nonsense. So
it is what it. What would before we get into like the transition? What was like training like at 10th Planet? Was that I hear good things, and then you just hear stuff, but like
yeah.
I know a lot. I like Eddie Bravo's style and what he's brought to the sport. So I'd be interested to hear what it was like training at kind of like that gym that was on the innovative side of
things. In 2004, man, it was very cutting edge, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a really prominent gym. We didn't really know anybody. He hadn't had his match with any of the Gracies at that point, right? But to me, training at that gym was just the only experience I knew.
Oh,
right?
so
because,
it was whatever.
It was like okay, I guess this is it.
Okay.
Right, so rubber guard, playing those funky different submissions, dead orchard, anything like that kind of came second nature because I hadn't learned the Gracie style. I hadn't been through Gracie combatives. I haven't been through any of that. So
interesting.
It was rubber guard, leg lock game for the first 6 years of me learning jiu-jitsu.
See, that's cool. That's cool to me because, like, I'm from a Gracie gym.
Yeah.
So, like, it's traditional. So, like, when I hear other, like, I'm like, what's going on over there? What kind of magic you doing over there?
Yeah.
Sorcery.
And
that 50-50, like, just like the lower half of the body wasn't really considered as much until he kind of, like, he pushed it a little bit.
Yeah, and it was effective. And I think
It
that's
worked.
why it became as big as it is because now this guard is being incorporated, these type of submissions and this type of offensive game is being incorporated in MMA very pervasively.
What's his name? That guy that just, the UFC fight we watched with Connor. The first fight that we watched
Was it with Ryan Hall?
Ryan Hall, yeah.
Ryan
He trained with a judo coach that I had, Justin Flores, and I saw them post up that they were like, he had trained with them back in the day, and I was like, oh, cool, Ryan Hall's fighting this weekend, like that's gonna be sick, because that guy's known for just diving face first in on some dude's leg and just wrapping up on the ankle, and then the fight's over. Everybody's like, what just happened? And the dude's like, my ankle just got took. Then, but he in that fight, did you watch that?
I didn't watch the fight, but I knew he was fighting in that.
Yeah,
UFC.
he dove in on it. The guy rolled his shoulder and then pinned his arm back. Had his
it was like a shoulder lock.
And then was just pounding his face like a big drum.
And if you can't defend yourself, the fight is called.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. So
yeah, man.
So after you left the Marine Corps, did you you went back to, I guess you were had to transition. So what was that like in terms of you went back to school? You probably had to move.
Yeah, I moved from California to Pennsylvania for a girl. Dumbest move ever. Probably should have stayed in California, right? But moved out here, lived with that chick for a minute. And then I went back to school, went to college.
Okay.
And I was 26, 27, and I'm getting into college, and there's a bunch of these 18-year-olds, trying to figure out life. And I'm like, well, I'm just here to go to school. I don't want to I don't want to go to your frat party, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it was a very stark reality because I'm coming from literally combat probably a year before this to being in finance 101 with 18-year-old Susie,
That's going
whose
from
biggest life problem is the
high speed to low speed.
Yeah,
right
right.
there.
So I'm just like, man, fuck. So it was daunting. You know, I didn't really like it too much.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Temple.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
What year did you graduate Temple?
2015.
All right.
Yeah, man. Started in 2013, graduated in 2015, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, I graduated 2011 in December, so I was like, all right, we crossed paths, but we didn't, unfortunately.
I know.
We
But I
could have been friends earlier.
You could be a purple belt by now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shots fired.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
True story.
No, I mean, transition is what it was, man. Like, I had to find myself with other vets because a lot of people just didn't really understand our cruel humor. You know, like, they didn't really get our mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Surrounding yourself with other vets is probably the best way to transition, for sure.
For sure. Did you find yourself just having a hard time with just like everyone in society, or was it just like just the school and like the youth and like that period?
It was mostly the youth, like the softer people who thought the end of the world was them failing an exam, right? And then it would just be them constantly complaining, right? And I don't do well with complainers, period, but like they were always complaining, and it just got so tiring. Yeah,
it's probably worse now.
Oh, and group projects.
Group projects.
I mean, most people hate group projects, but I hated group projects.
Yeah, because you were in there with like children.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. It was rough.
How old were you when you went into the Marine Corps?
I was just turning 18.
All right.
So I grew up in Bristol. I don't know if you know Bristol Borough.
I know Bristol.
Yeah, so I grew up in Bristol, and then 2004 came, graduated, and like literally jumped right in. And was like, I went to the recruiting office, and I went to each branch, and I was like, oh, what's the Coast Guard do? And they sold their little spiel. I was like, what's the Navy do? And they said their spiel, and I was like, well, which one's the hardest? And they're like, the Marines, and I was like, sign me up. And I was in boot camp, and it's like the first day I cried.
You're like, what have I done?
Yeah, in boot camp, it's this like man with this crazy hat is like breathing on my face. I'm just like crying, whimpering. Yeah,
you've had like every orifice of your body investigated.
Yeah,
this dude
right?
screaming in your face.
Yeah,
like,
dude, they made you get naked and do like the duck walk. You know what I'm talking about.
Bruce knows.
Yeah,
like,
Bruce knows.
Yeah, they're like, let me see your butt. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, no, butt. And I'm like, oh, that.
You want me to get you some binoculars? What's going on here?
Do you need a telescope? Like, what are you looking at?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man, that was boot camp life, man. It's like first 2 days of processing.
Did you know you wanted to go in the Marines, or rather like into the military type lifestyle for a long time, or like what was that, like why that?
It was straight impulse, man. And like I was a really good athlete. Like I ran track in school. And I got into some dumb shit like right after I graduated high school. Didn't end up going to college. But like something always stuck out to me because 9/11, I was in like 8th grade. I think everybody who was alive, at least during 9/11, knows where they were.
Yeah.
Right? So like that image of a terrorist attack on U.S. soil has always lived very prominently.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I remember my teacher in junior high, like, wheeled a TV. We were in like one of those shop type classes, and he wheeled a TV over and plugged it in and was like, you guys just have to see this. And we were like, all right, whatever. We're building these like little floatable rafts to compete to carry flog across. Remember that shit? Yeah, you carry golf balls across to hope your boat didn't sink. We're all like, all right, cool, Mr. Kaminsky. And I was like, holy shit, what's going on this TV? I'm like, what am I even watching right now? He's like, well, that's New York City. I'm like, was that building on fire? And then the second plane wow. Like I literally watched it live on TV.
Yeah, I remember that shit too.
Yeah.
Wait, how old were you when that happened?
I was in 7th grade.
Oh shit, I was 6 years old, so I don't think I really remember that much.
It was wild though.
Yeah, dude, I literally was just like, oh shit. And then I literally remember like people's parents, like literally kids were just leaving the class. Like every couple minutes, like the phone would ring in the class and they'd be like, all right, so-and-so, go to your office, your parents are here. Like literally people's parents were just coming to the school and just picking them up.
I mean, because realistically, if you were in Pennsylvania at the time, you were a 40-minute flight.
Well,
Like,
we like the area that we grew up in was like it's a pretty affluent area. So a lot of the people that worked in our area like had parents or neighbors or somebody that were like
in there
in that building. So like there was
Shit.
like we did know people whose parents like did die in that building. Or like Dave's like obviously you know Big Dave like he lost people in there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so like
Damn.
that's what started his whole hug though, like the whole world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like yeah, I totally get to that. I know there's like this one Instagram account, Soul Snatchers. You know them boys. They have this one. They just have like this one. Like they just make these like little video clips, and it's just like something about that. But it's literally like with every beat or like the thing, it's just like the plane hitting the building every time, and then it's just like a bunch of just like the 75th just like rolling into this thing, and just
that's
fucking shit up.
That's another thing, man. Is like I remember being in boot camp and Bush being like, "We're going."
It's that Stay Hungry one. This video is like hardcore as shit. Timmy went with, or Bruce, you went with some headphones on.
because you did not put the headphones on in the beginning.
That's that dude that's like joined the Rangers like super old, Tim, that I was telling you about. You know that guy?
Yeah, they make some cool shit, man.
Yeah, but it turns up after a while, and I watch this before I run in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like every morning.
You pumped. Yeah, I like the aesthetic they choose. The colors are super cool.
I've reached out to them a few times, or a couple times, been like, if you guys need anything, because they do training.
They as an organization do trainings.
I think that's where they make their money, is it's trainings. I don't think they make anything on the content.
That's a bad man right there.
And then it just like goes through a bunch of dudes that just like.
The initial dude's a bad man. He's a bad man, dude.
You know his brother. Yeah. Yeah, I watched this in the sauna, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up right now.
I'm gonna go run and sprain it.
Yeah, right.
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
And it just goes through like this whole list of dudes.
damn.
And
Oh,
then
my
Tillman.
boy.
Yeah, we all know Tillman.
Everyone knows Tillman. All their videos are legit. If you need something to get you fired up,
Yeah.
Soul Snatchers, these boys. But anyway, so you knew, like, you were just athletic, and you kind of just hit a spot in your life where you were just like, I need to do something here, and this seems like
man.
This seems like the next sport to do.
It was also like challenge myself, like, you know what I mean? Like in track, I was always running, and I was running like a 4:15 mile in high school. So it was like,
God damn.
Holy shit!
and like I
almost threw up.
I hit, you know, the Marine Corps IST.
I can drive that fast.
It was like, Marine Corps IST comes around. I was like, yeah, let's just do the Marine Corps. Let's see how, you know, good I am. And Marine Corps is like, oh, if you run 18-minute 3 mile, it's 100 points or whatever to score. And I was like, all right, well, Marines sound like they're the shit, so let me just go in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I turned quick bitch, like day 2 processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna gray man through this.
Well, I couldn't gray man through it, man. They picked me out as soon as I started crying. They're like, you're getting fucked with for 13 weeks, bro. Yeah.
You'd be like, come here, raindrops.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But and then they saw I was a good runner, and they're like, we're gonna leave him alone for now because we can't catch him. But
if he starts crying too hard and runs away, we're not gonna get him back. we need everybody we got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome. So when you went into the Marine Corps, I mean, everybody fights in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Technically, that's what their like thing is. So
obviously
did
not
you
the
go-
band members, but like.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, they got to get ready for like football games. And
Yeah,
stuff
and like play the drums and the bugle.
the bugle. I don't even know what a bugle is. Like what
like
that
a horn.
instrument is.
I think it's a horn or something.
We're
like
going
Sounds like a
with it.
horn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
horn-like object. Yeah. Shout out to the bugle players in the Marine Corps.
Shout out
I
to
guess.
the players.
We could probably find somebody's Instagram account that's like lead bugle player for the.
Oh,
For the
sure.
Marines.
You're about to get hate comments.
Canceled.
So when you went into the Marine Corps, did you have any taste or like idea like what kind of direction you wanted to go when you went in?
Yeah, so I initially wanted to go in the intelligence community, but like that was extremely hard to get into given where we were positioning ourselves in the Middle East and in different sections of the Middle East. Like you could speak Farsi and like all this other stuff and be good in Afghanistan, but your skills didn't translate in Iraq, right? So intelligence community was really difficult to get into, so I ended up being a communicator, 0621, radio operator. And it's a combat arms MOS, but you're more specialized in technology a little bit. And then literally my first deployment was I deployed as a QRF, which is a quick response force, like right outside of Fallujah.
Okay.
And like we were in charge of Route Michigan and some of the other MSRs.
So like you guys were in control of like making sure routes were maintained.
Well, routes were maintained, but also if a unit got pinned down, they would call our QRF.
And then you guys would roll in hot.
Yeah, we would be the 911 force, and sometimes we'd have artillery support, sometimes we'd have tank support, sometimes we'd have a section of helos or a section of F-18s on station, and like.
So for those that don't understand, a QRF, I guess you could say is 911
exactly
when you're out in the shit.
When shit hits the fan.
Yeah, when you're out there and there is nobody else.
Exactly.
It's like you hope you have the option.
Exactly. And a lot of times we had Overwatch, and I didn't really know what the fuck Overwatch was, but like as soon as we would leave the wire, they'd be like, okay, well, you have Overwatch on this mission, and they're this sector, along this MSR, or in this quadrant of Fallujah, you have Overwatch. And I didn't really know who the fuck that was until I saw American Sniper, and Chris Kyle's fucking call sign was Overwatch. And I was like, oh, it all fucking makes sense now. I was like, no wonder we never got fucking pinned down, because Chris Kyle was over there fucking shooting people.
Yeah, be like, I kind of know him.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't know him, but like I remember his call sign being over the radio many times.
Oh, that's sick.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I saw his when I last time I was in Texas, I saw his like headstone.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. His like wife's hands and like their kids' hands are kind of like Han Solo'd coming out of.
That's pretty dope.
It's like this huge. I don't even know how to describe this headstone. And when we were standing there, these two dudes walked up to us and they're like beards and like everything. Like, can we get a picture? I'm like, yeah, sure. And like the one dude turned out to be like a Navy SEAL, but he didn't know Chris Kyle.
Yeah.
But he was like there with his brother. He's like, yeah, we just had to come see it. And I was like, all right, cool. Damn, I'll take your picture.
Yeah.
They were just, you could get this vibe from the one dude. You're like, what's up, cowboy?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, what's going on here? And I think Texas has like the most amount of like special operations people
to ever come
live in Texas.
Live in Texas. Yeah.
They don't pick a fight in
Big
Texas.
time. Don't pick a fight in Texas. Don't pick a fight near Fort Benning, Georgia. That's
or San Diego.
San Coronado, do not do it.
Yeah.
But Fort Benning, Georgia, Coronado.
It's because you got
Texas.
like Coronado, you got like Navy SEALs, Jiu Jitsu guys, UFC fighters. You literally have like tons of different sports all
Fort Benning, you got the tier 1 operators. Don't fuck with those guys.
Yeah, see, that's it, yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I walked up, I was like, interesting.
I mean, you can go to Quantico and start picking fights because you got officers down there. They don't know what they're doing.
So you joined in 2004, you said?
Yeah, 2004.
And then when did you, like, how soon into that, like, how many years later did you, like, find yourself?
My first deployment?
Mm-hmm.
Man, literally, I got to my first unit, and they're like, we're deploying. And it was, like, literally 6 weeks later. I was in Iraq.
So that was, like, real quick. That was, like, a year of training almost, and then you were there?
It wasn't even a year worth of training. I think we did, like, our pre-workup, the second version of the unit's pre-workout, and I just joined the unit. So the unit was deploying. I just so happened to got attached to that unit.
Oh, damn.
And then they're like, you're going too. And I was like, well, shit. All right. I guess this is it.
Yeah.
So, deployed. And then I just so happened to get stuck with the QRF because part of the Regimental Combat Team 7 is kind of who had that AO, where it was like Fallujah, TQ, all those like really hot spots in 2004. And then the only reason I got stuck with the QRF is because one of the other radio operators like punched an upper armored vehicle
And
broke his hand. And I was like, you bitch.
You dumb.
Right?
Why'd you do that?
And they were like, Adams, you're going to go to the QRF. And I was like, but why me?
I could just run. I'm a runner.
But why me? You know, and I was like,
does the Marine Corps have a track team?
right? And I'm like emailing and calling my family on the sat phones, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna die.
Oh damn!
They're like, here, do your will. I was like, I'm only 18.
I don't own
shit.
anything.
Damn.
They're like, who's gonna be your power attorney for your car? I was like, I just bought the car.
Camaro?
So,
Say no.
No, it was a Cadillac because
Shit.
I thought I was a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cadillac.
What kind of Cadillac did you get?
It was like a 1999 Eldorado.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude.
that's a sick
Straight
Cadillac.
G.
Straight
Yeah,
G.
bro.
You know?
Throw some rims on that shit.
What's he
I did
driving?
I did
What's he
not.
driving training day? Cutlass.
Yeah.
Cutlass,
Yeah.
is it?
Cutlass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Training.
They kind of give off the same vibe if you look at
Yeah.
them at the right angle. Kinda, maybe. not.
Monte Carlo? That's what it says here.
Monte Carlo.
I guess
Got
it
that
was
wrong.
Carlo.
Damn. Shows what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Then I came back from Iraq, you know, hanging out, got all this deployment money, not 21 yet. I'm like, what do I do? You know?
yeah,
And I ended up just getting in like crazy trouble trying to spend. I was doing stupid shit,
yeah. Like what?
like sneaking into clubs. I changed my military ID to like where I would look like I was 21. You know what I mean?
How?
Okay, well, I'm about to blow up everyone in the Marine Corps spot. Everyone fucking does this, right? So, like, 1986, whatever year, you gotta, essentially, you have a plastic coating over your military ID. And
Yeah.
you can pull that plastic coating back if you heat it up some. And then you just take, like, a newspaper, because everything's Times New Roman in the military. So, like, you just take a newspaper, pull a number out of the newspaper, stick it back there, glue it, and reheat it, and stick it back.
Wow.
It's good to go.
It's good to go,
Yeah.
you know?
So you never got caught with that?
Nah, I never got caught with that. I never got caught with that.
Smooth
I know,
operator.
I would.
Yeah, right.
It was like 2005. Like fake IDs were
Yeah,
legit
shit. They didn't have
fake.
technology back then.
Yeah, right. So fake IDs were like, no.
Think about how much change has changed since 2005. It's crazy.
Instagram is nuts. Fucking
Social
Twitter is
media's
nuts. Social
wild.
media is wild.
I've never really gotten into the Twitter so much. The Twitterverse.
I just imagine like some of the shit that we would post or we would say on deployment if that shit ever got out.
Oh my. What a good thing.
Cancel.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, there's probably all kinds of like briefs and things like that now.
Oh,
It'll just
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
just reminder, we are watching your Instagram pages.
Yeah.
You mess up.
They do that now.
Yeah, I bet you that.
Yeah.
I bet there's probably tons of money wasted on just watching our own soldiers. Make sure not post dumb shit on Instagram.
Oh man, I had when I taught CQB and CQC, I had a student, and everybody had knives on them. But like, it was one morning, and I was like having a hard time opening my fucking packaged eggs from Wawa or whatever it was. And I tell the student, I was like, "Hey, throw me a knife." And he threw the knife, and it opens in midair, and I just have this oh shit moment, like this thing is gonna fucking go right in my foot. So I move my foot back, and it goes into my leg. I was like, fuck. I was like, and I look at it, and the student is looking at me because at that time I'm a sergeant, and like he's a PFC or like E1, like super low.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh shit, I just stabbed the CQC instructor, the close quarters combat instructor, with a knife. he's like, shit's about to get real. And I was like, I just took it out, opened my eggs, continued teaching the class. And one of the students was like, hey, Sergeant Adams, your boot's full of blood. And I looked down, I was like, fuck, yeah, I guess so. And this is the first and only time I've ever had stitches in my life, too. So it's like, I was like, fuck, man, like this kid would fucking stab me in a class where I teach knife defense with a fucking knife. So that was,
So you got into hand-to-hand combat stuff while you were in the military.
yeah, so if I had to plot out a timeline of my military time, so it's like 2004 deployed, 2006 deployed, came back. In 2007, I went and worked at the embassies, like protecting ambassadors, guarding embassies. And then I got attached to Bush's protected division Condoleezza Rice's protective division, Marine 1, and then finally made it back to the fleet in like 2009. 2010 was I was in Tanks Battalion, 2009, 2010. That was a fucking shit show. Tanks are just horrible. But anyway, 2010 deployed to Afghanistan, and then right back-to-back deployed to Afghanistan, 10, 11. So,
Did you
good
prefer,
times.
what like country did you prefer the most to deploy to?
I was in Finland for a year, and that shit was boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was super exotic.
The only black guy in Finland.
I was one of 5, bro.
Oh, shit.
And 3 worked at the embassy.
Yo, shout out.
So, I was like, man, like, this is awesome. Like, people would look at me, they would stare at me. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, you're like a cheetah.
I was.
Yeah, I'm a beautiful cheetah.
Yeah. Beautiful chocolate man running around in Scandinavia.
They're probably, oh my God, I love your accent.
I've
You're like,
had-
I'm just American.
Yeah. The day I flew into Finland, man, there's this little girl, and they all spoke English, but like this little, I'd say she's like 6 or 7. Like, I was looking at shit like in the state store because they sell liquor in the airport, and she comes up and tries to rub my skin off.
What?
Yeah, and her mom,
Oh, I
like,
thought you were gonna be like she tried to bite you.
no,
for a while.
Tastes
But like, she tried to rub my skin off because she's never seen a black person before. So
Wow.
it was pretty legit.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
shit.
And mom's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's good.
Whatever, dude. It's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
They don't know any
Yeah,
better.
they don't know any better.
Yeah, fucking racist ass kid.
I know.
He's born that way.
Although-
See him? He's born this
Yeah,
skin.
Yeah, sure.
They got it in their DNA.
Every Afghanistan kid, though, always thought I had chocolate on me.
What?
Fun fact. Yeah, because,
I've heard
small
about those
units.
Afghanistan kids.
Yeah,
so-
That's
they
crazy.
Like, candy. And like they would not go to anyone else for chocolate. They would come straight to me.
they thought you were the candy man.
And apparently, they thought like I could peel off chocolate from my ass crack. I'm like, here's fucking
Bruh.
chocolate. Never did I ever have chocolate on me, but they always came to me and asked me for chocolate.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I guess if
To
you grow up
them,
in a mud hut
yeah.
and you've only seen
A mud
20,
hut.
20 people in your entire life, like,
Exactly.
I guess that's interesting.
Yeah. And in the military, they taught us to shake everyone's hand
Mm.
in those towns, because if they're farming towns and you shake someone's hand and they have soft hands, you just
They're-
mark them.
They're infiltrator.
Yeah, they're Taliban.
Oh, makes
Taliban.
sense.
Yeah.
Fuck, you got pussy ass hands, dude.
That's right.
They're little man hands.
Yep.
Yeah,
Man
I
hands.
need to see calluses.
But-
Nuts and butts. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy.
yeah, man. But that's
So was your nickname Candy to the locals?
no.
or did you just, like-
Chocolate Man was like what I got all the time to the locals. Chocolate Man.
When I've been to a couple places in Africa where they're very about calling me Mr. Alibaba because of my
Why?
beard. They would just
Oh,
be like
'cause it's-
Alibaba, like literally everywhere you go. Like in Morocco, it's like Alibaba. I'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm Alibaba. You could turn a corner, and be like Alibaba. And you'd be like, dude, seriously?
Oh,
Will you
man.
all know about this? Is this some sort of joke? Are you like, what's up, dude? Everybody, taxi drivers. I'm just like, this is shit.
Yeah,
this
I
beard
could
off.
never grow like a full beard like that. Like
Oh, really?
anytime I grew a beard out, it was always like an afro on my face. So like I could never
Like
I could never
Kimbo?
get it. Yeah,
Like
it was
Kimbo?
always like
Yeah, dude,
looked
shut
really
up.
grungy, and I'm like, nah, I got to keep it short now.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I could never get like a full luscious beard like you got. You know what I mean?
God damn, dude.
I know beard oil. Beard oil. That's what you do, huh? You
I
condition
don't. I don't
condition
have
your
any
beard.
beard oil. I got
He
beard
conditions
oil
his beard.
once. I still have the same bottle I was given like a
Ah.
while ago, like years. Every now and
Yeah.
then, like if it's a special occasion, I'll hit it.
Yeah, nice. Get
There
that
hasn't
shit
been
all
too many
lathered.
special occasions over the last year though, but they're ramping up.
Yeah.
They're ramping up. We're giving away a GoPro, so we're gonna have
Yeah, come
more
on.
things.
Oh,
I
man,
noticed with
giving
you.
away a GoPro.
Yeah, give
Yeah.
it away, bro.
Yeah. Have you seen the video?
No.
We'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll show it to you. Yeah.
Fuck,
Go
giving
pull
away
it up.
I've heard the audio too many times.
Yeah, same. I just like know word for word now. I can
Yeah.
just recite it back.
Anyway, shout out. Go get yourself a GoPro if you're listening.
Yeah, subscribe.
It sounds like you had a pretty exciting career though in the Marine Corps though.
Yeah,
it sounds
man.
like you did the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff, and I think that those experiences make me a better rounded individual.
Mm.
Gave me a lot of initiative, right? I'm a go-getter. Like from a corporate perspective, like I carry the same gusto that I had in the Marine Corps about doing shit and executing and accomplishing the mission that I do now. So like
Yeah.
I haven't lost the steam.
It was just ingrained in you.
It was.
So do you think, like, as an athlete, did you have, like, work ethic at that level, or were you just a talented athlete?
It was really just talented, man. Like,
because when you're a young kid, I say this to people all the time. When I was younger, like, I just had things.
Yeah.
Like, just like you just like could jump, run, do things. Now when you're older, you can't. You have to actually work for it a little bit more. If you're, you were athletic.
I was chasing my 5-year-old down a football field and blew a hamstring.
Damn.
Like, that's
blew a hammy, dude.
That's how I know. I was like, I was not a talented athlete, because talented athletes don't blow hamstrings chasing after 5-year-olds. Like, you know what I mean? so I just knew, like, when I was a kid, man, it was like, shit was just given to me. I mean, my coach had to come wake me up for practice sometimes. Like, I didn't have any work ethic as a kid. Fuck out of here.
So you attribute that to the Marine Corps then?
Yeah, absolutely.
A decent amount of it, at least.
Anything that where you're doing something with intent, action, and obedience, right, always tends to give you a little more sense of urgency, right? Because even now, like, if I report to general counsel in my company now, like, if the head lawyer asked me to do something, like, I would do it. Not because she told me to do it, but because I have a sense of urgency in everything that I do, right? So, and I would attribute that sense of urgency, that attention to detail, that mission-driven kind of perspective to my 10 years in the Marine Corps, 8-9 years in the Marine Corps. So.
I like the phrase aggressive patience a lot.
Aggressive patience.
Yeah, sometimes when you're talking to people, like, you've probably had friends like this where they're like, yeah, I'm just waiting, for this one thing to come together, and then, like, I'm going to do that. And it's like, okay, well, while you wait for that, like, piece of paperwork, or it's like, oh, I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm just, I applied. I'm just waiting for, like, the literature and stuff like that. It's like, well, I hear that, but while you're waiting on that, is there anything you could be doing to, like, move shit forward for yourself? And there's a lot of people that just kind of, like, wait around without a sense of urgency. And I have me and him probably would get along a lot with that regard, where you get with people that are just kind of like have that just kind of coast to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, for no reason whatsoever right now, we're going. It's time to go.
For sure. And I think I see it a lot now when I have a lot of people who approach me like business ideas. I have a lot of people who approach me with entrepreneurial ventures, and I'm just like, okay, well, you can still go get shit. Like, don't wait around for your next venture. Like, don't wait around for your next opportunity. Like, create the opportunity, right? Like, start your business. Don't wait. Like, okay, well, start it.
Definitely. People say to me all the time, they're like, well, you got 150 YouTube subscribers. Like, well, that's where we're at now. Like, it's like, oh, dude, like, well, how long is it going to take you to get to 1,000? It's like, well, someday we'll have 1,000, but if we didn't start this a year ago, we wouldn't be at 150 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
right? We're 15% of the way there.
Yeah.
Right? So hopefully momentum picks up. But you know what? We're like, what are you doing?
People will find excuses to wait. And I never understood that, that mentality. Like, why would you find an excuse to just wait around? Why would you find an excuse to wait to start whatever you're passionate about, right? Like,
it's probably just comfortability.
It is
That's
comfort.
true.
Yeah.
I think people like to be like,
it's like 29-year-olds still living in their parents' basement. I mean, if I'm not paying rent, I would have no sense of urgency either.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Gotta pay these bills.
Yeah, I gotta eat. I gotta live somewhere. Like, I got shit to do.
Gotta keep this roof over my head.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Gotta keep my lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, once you have nice stuff, then it's like you don't want to lose the nice stuff.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what's interesting about jiu-jitsu and fighting. That's really the only sport that performance of athletes besides Mayweather, performance of athletes goes down as income gets higher. Every other sport, like, the more money you make, the more resources you have, the more training you can do, the better you get. Like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, like you just go down the list, like race car drivers, everybody, the more resources you have, like now, like I'm physically more fit now than I was when I was 21 because I have like endless amounts of resources technically for, cryo, physical therapy, getting stretched, like the good sneakers, the good supplements, like
I agree.
Having, being able to be financially secure so you can sleep the amount your body needs.
Sleep.
So stuff like that, just like
that's an interesting
urgency brings that.
That's an interesting dichotomy though. As income goes up, performance of the athletes go down. I'm trying to think of like
I've thought a lot about this because in my mind, I'm like, dude, there's no way when you're a fight, like you have that championship mentality, you just know how to cultivate it. And then you look at fighters, it's like it doesn't hold true with fighting. Because it's just you have to be in a dark place to get in a place like that.
Face, for
you
sure.
gotta be a dog.
And you also have to hate yourself at some level to like be okay with just getting punched in the face for a living.
Sure. Yeah.
There's got to be a dark spot in somewhere in your body where you're just like, I hate myself.
The wear and tear on the body probably attributes to the performance, the decline of the performance for sure.
That's why people sometimes will be like, well, why don't you do MMA anymore? I'm like, well, who wants to get hit?
Nobody.
At least let's wrestle.
My brain.
I'll slam you on the ground if you want to feel it.
Yeah.
But like, let's train here.
Yeah.
I want to get punched in the face.
I always make a public service announcement before I roll with somebody. I'm like, are you a wrestler? And they go, no. I'm like, all right, you know judo? They're like, no. I was like, then I can stand up. I was like, if you're a wrestler, you know judo, like I'm not going for a ride. Like I'm just gonna pull guard.
I met a new white belt last Wednesday. Yo, what's your name? You look kind of dense. His name was Joey. I'm like, I'll be able to remember that. I'm like, Joey, what kind of sports you be playing in high school? You look there's something suspect here. And before he could get out of his mouth, he fireman.
Oh,
I was just like, dude, what is this white belt shit dropping this move here? What are you doing? I was like, you wrestled in high school.
For sure.
Yeah, at one point he got me in a like near triangle. And, like, he didn't get the triangle, but his legs were so strong that I was just like, nah, my head doesn't need this tonight, Tab. I was like, no cauliflower ear tonight, buddy. Let's Tab. Like, literally, he was like, and he was so small. And then the next time I saw him was no-gi. And I saw those thick, meaty legs. I was like, damn, what's Joe, you 5'6", 190
fire
motherfucker. Yeah.
5'6",
son of a
190.
bitch. But those wrestlers, you got to watch out for them regardless of what you're doing. They're out there.
They're out there, for sure.
Yeah. Most devastating thing ever is
picking a fight with somebody and not expecting that ass with
It's just like, I wrestled in high school states. It's like, what?
National champ.
Yeah, they just have this natural instinct when you roll with somebody that wrestled, like, religiously, like, real hard wrestling. They just have this instinct to just, like, get their hips up. And, like, in all situations, their body's just like, you ain't pinning me. And it's like, dude, we're not even in a pinning situation. Why are you flailing like that? Jeez. You watch out for that, though.
Yeah, man. I mean,
iron sharpens iron, so.
That's true.
It's
that is true.
It's good to get humiliated by a white belt every now and then.
Oh, for sure.
It's been training for 2 weeks.
I've had competitive blue belts fucking do some work on me. I'm like, oh, this is the game we're playing.
Oh, it's like, okay, you want to compete, huh? It's like, oh, you do tournaments, blue belt.
But I mean,
that's me. I'll try some wild stuff, and then someone your size, like I'll try and get like over top of you. Like I'll just try and throw all my weight into you and just try and like cartwheel over you. And what happens at your weight class is like you guys just grab my gi or maybe just like underhook me and just right down, and it's just like boop. Oh shit! I'm in your guard, but I'm about to die. And it's man. Like, not good.
Yeah. I mean, jiu-jitsu, I need to start training again, man. I mean, I keep saying that to myself, but then I blow a fucking hamstring chasing 5-year-olds, or I wake up and my fucking hands don't fully straighten out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Do you tape any of your fingers?
I'll tape it if I'm gone for a while. Right? Like if I'm in there for an hour doing live sparring, like I'll probably tape it 45.
Do any of your fingers like do a little drifting action? I got a little drifting action.
Oh yeah. Like they'll just start spreading apart.
Yeah, like this little pinky sometimes. Like if we're doing a lot, like especially gi after class, like I can't get it back in.
Oh,
so I'm like the one night in car, I was like,
if I bend
I'm gonna leave this out of the report today.
Yeah, if I bend my arm in certain ways, or I go to rest my head, my hands start throwing gang signs, and it's like I'm not doing it. It's like what is happening?
Yeah, I'll be driving and I'll be like, my hand on the steering wheel, just like, be like, Ariel will be like,
yeah,
what's up with your crab claw over there?
Yeah, my body's been so decimated, man. It's like
I eat tons of bananas, like as much potassium as I can get.
For whatever reason, man, I hate bananas.
What?
You hate bananas?
Yo, bananas are the shit.
Would you like slip on one once?
Yeah. Played too much Mario Kart, got fucked up with
bananas.
He doesn't have PTSD, but don't bring up Mario Kart. He's like, just fucking bananas always get me.
I don't know, man. Like, I just fucking hate bananas. Like, I don't like them in smoothies. I don't fucking like them.
It's the taste then.
I think it's
some
consistency.
Some people hate that texture, that
Yeah,
like
it's that
fibrous
weird,
texture. I get that.
Now I'm gagging. But anyway. Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. You
Oh.
ruined the show.
No, you ruined bananas.
No, but my body's been so decimated, man. I mean, I've been blown up 5 times. Like, fucking, my body just hurts. What's
it like getting blown up? I guess, like, take us through the most significant of those experiences.
Of the 5 explosions?
Yeah, like what? Like let's hear about like how close it was to you, what the situation was,
man.
like what the shot. Like,
yeah, dude. So
some of us haven't been blown up.
Yeah,
here.
I've only seen it on movies.
We were in the QRF team, man, and
get in the back seat, come on.
Fucking, they call us up. They're like, we found an IED. We're just going to cordon it off, and we're going to wait for you guys to get here. So I was like, all right. So we go. We leave the wire. I'm second vehicle in line. First vehicle peels off the cordon. I peel off the other. And normally what you're supposed to do is like 5 and 25.
So you pull up to this situation, and one of you goes left, one of you goes right to kind of create a perimeter.
Wishbone. Yeah, like a wishbone kind of formation. But every other vehicle does it. So like.
And this is an urban setting?
Yeah, urban setting.
Not huts, but like a city kind of? What city are you in?
It was right outside of Fallujah.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty. Yeah, that's city.
It's a city.
Yeah.
Like, people were watching.
Yeah.
You know? And we get out, and my gunner does his 5 and 25, and the turret gunner is looking out. He's like, well, I don't see any secondaries. No secondaries. I get out. I'm like, okay. And I just stay by the truck because I'm not doing 5 and 25s. Like, I was 18. I wasn't trying to, like, go legless at any point. So
yeah.
I stayed, you know, coordinated the helos that were on station. The EOD clears it. We get back to go and drive off. They didn't do the 5 and 25s on the other end of the IED. So the first vehicle goes around, turns around. My vehicle turns around. And right as we're turning around, man, I sit.
And you're in a Humvee.
I'm in a up-armored Humvee, so it's pretty heavy. But also they put like 3 777 rounds armed with a pressure plate.
But the Humvee's flat on the bottom of it.
Well, the up-armored Humvees are angled at the bottom to deflect the blast. But you set off 2 777 artillery rounds, nothing. It's a bad day for anybody.
Is that like a Great Dane?
3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so 777s are the biggest artillery round
And I'm not saying any lingo here. I'm literally referencing a Great Dane like a dog.
Like a great,
I'm just like it's like a dog height.
If you imagine a Great Dane.
Yeah, for some reason I go to animals, dude.
Hey, man, a Great Dane is a perfect reference. Yeah. Because that's exactly how big it is. Yeah.
Was that a good one?
Yeah,
because that's what I pictured, that size round. I'm like, oh, that's like a Great Dane.
It's proud of that reference.
Yeah. Great reference. And then they put a pressure plate
anybody
on it.
Can borrow that if you want.
King of the reference.
It's out there for your taking.
Nice. But yeah, man, we hit it. Fucking back tire. So usually you have a driver, the vehicle commander on the radio, and then you have the turret gunner. You have the SAW, squad automatic weapon, to the left, and then the radio operator to the right. So, like, I was on the right back seat.
And the back right tire was
the back right tire that hit it.
Oh, jeez.
So, peeled up the entire back portion of my truck. So, like, I was exposed to air this way. Shrapnel went in through the window. Shrapnel got in through the lower portion of the vehicle through my seat. So, I got it, like, right here.
Dang.
2 hours. But, like, it went through. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm good. I can get out. So the vehicle commander's like, take the radio out. So, all right, cool. Start taking the radio out because it's encrypted. You know, got to keep your shit. And then I'm like, oh, well, I feel something warm. And I was like, I'm 18. I was like, did I just piss myself? But, like, there's dust still. So, like, I didn't know I was peeing. Like, I didn't want to look down and be like, oh, I cried in boot camp and now I peed myself. Didn't want to be that guy. But, the crazy part is vehicle commander, I get the radio. Vehicle commander looks down. He's like, you're bleeding. And I'm like, what? I looked down and was like, well, thank God I didn't pee myself, right? Thank God I didn't pee myself.
Situation could be serious. But we're good on the pee.
So, but I was ambulatory, so like I didn't have to get a medevac. Like I got in the next vehicle, applied pressure, and then waited. And then the next day, the med officer was like, all right, we're going to take that out of you.
He just...
Yeah, they just grabbed it with forceps. They numbed it, but like grabbed it with forceps.
Yeah, they just.
I think that YouTube video is still up there though.
Wait, what? You have a YouTube video of that?
Yeah,
we're gonna watch that right now.
Let's see.
Let's pull that up. And while we're pulling that up, Jesus.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Was it hot?
Oh, it was,
like what was like?
There's so much adrenaline, man. Like I don't think people really understand when they're being like, "Yo, when you're getting shot at, shit's real." Like when you're in combat or like
you're not worried about a lot of things.
No.
And
like,
when I say a lot of things, like you're not even worried about things like you're doing
no, like
action wise.
When I got blown up, my first instinct, man, was like, okay, it's gonna be an ambush. Because why would they wait until we peeled off and now our vehicles are decentralized?
Yeah, it's the start of an attack.
Yeah, it's the start of an attack.
Yeah.
So I type in Silas 513.
Oh, you have it on your own channel?
Yeah, I think so. All one word. No space.
Obviously. Come on now.
Yeah, obviously.
Go Iraq montage.
Iraq. Oh, yeah.
Iraq.
This is back in the day. How many years ago was this?
It's 2008. February 14th, 2008.
Yeah, so let's see. You'll see my vehicle in here. But there's a portion of the video where they show you taking the iodoform out of my leg. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. That's cool guy stuff.
But yeah, fucking, you don't really worry about anything, man. Like,
So you don't even really even remember that, like, the energy of it or, like, being, like...
No, it was...
Be like, whoa.
I felt like a giant picked my vehicle up and, like, shook it.
Yeah.
It was
kind of like, have you ever experienced an earthquake?
It was way worse than an earthquake, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just... Was it like... Is that energy, like... Once you feel that, you're like, wow, that's out there.
Yeah, like, there was pressure. Like, I don't know if you... It was like G's.
Yeah, it's like...
G-forces, yeah. That's my truck right there.
Oh, jeez. Just peeled... I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Peeled off the back.
So that was where I was sitting right there.
Oh, damn. So that was like a slant back, or was that that wasn't open?
It wasn't open, no. It
just
was like a
peeled the whole
hatchback.
Okay, cool. Like the slant hatched one.
Yeah. But that's all depleted uranium, by the way. Like, that's...
All the armor.
Yeah, like, that is not
that's
light-grade armor. That's tank armor.
That's the good. That's
Yeah.
the good stuff. So if you weren't in an armored vehicle, you would have been
been
smoked.
Yeah, smoked.
And we wouldn't be here
100%.
on episode 91.
No. Absolutely not.
No, that sucks.
I'd be missed.
Yeah, you probably would be. You seem... I mean, you were a legendary track athlete, so... They would have messed your speed.
Legendary track athlete.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
Was like, so that experience when you were like turning that, like, do you just like, obviously like hit it, like was like a pressure plate or did somebody trigger it? Like,
Yeah, so we found the pressure plate. I think there's going to be a picture of the pressure plate, but like essentially when the pressure plate makes contact, when there's weight put on it, and it completes the circuit.
Okay.
And then the circuit triggers the round. And then one round is obviously going to trigger the other two rounds.
Yeah.
So there will be like an initial impact, and then there's going to be a secondary, more dramatic impact. And I think that's where I found that pressure. Like when I was in the truck, I think those next two 777s is what caused me to feel like someone was stepping on me.
Oh shit.
Because that's how.
Because it was like boom,
Yeah,
and then it was like second boom.
Yeah, because that's the blast. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't even explain to you the force. Like, I've been in terrible car accidents, and I'm like, this was nothing compared to.
Did you have like a headache afterwards?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have like a concussion probably.
I had a grade 3 concussion in that one.
Damn.
Vomited, all kinds of shit. It was weird.
Ears ringing and shit.
Ears ringing sucked. I still have ringing in the ears, but
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, what do they call that?
tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see there's like 3M
Earplugs,
lawsuits?
all
They're
lawsuits?
like,
Yeah.
can you qualify for the
Here it is.
3M tinnitus lawsuit?
This is like
Did you
2 days.
deploy in 2014?
This is like 2 days afterwards, so you're gonna see how deep this was because of how much iodoform was packed in there.
You're like, can I film this?
I did. And he was like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." I almost turned a quick bitch on this though too, because there was
You're like, oh my god.
They had already packed it. They had already removed it, so this is just them kind of cleaning it up.
Oh.
There's more.
Holy shit.
But wait, there's more. So is that just like the stuff they packed in there?
Yeah. So essentially, whenever there's shrapnel that gets into your body,
Yeah.
it's jagged, so it can't go in the same. It can't come in the same way it went in.
So when you
Can't
pull
come
it
the
out,
same
it
way
comes
went in,
worse.
yeah. So it gets worse, and all of a sudden, what they'll do is they'll pack it with iodoform gauze,
Okay.
and it's like almost like an incision and drain type of healing. It'll heal from the inside because they can't stitch it because then they'll just
So
be
it'll
missing
just
flesh.
ooze out of there, and then
Exactly.
slowly it'll grow and
Yeah,
heal
exactly.
out, and then it'll close out.
Yep.
Do you heal pretty well? Like some people, I feel like sometimes people don't like in situations like that. Like I know a couple people that they're like, yeah, I healed like.
No, I mean, it sucked. I was down for a while.
Yeah. What does that entail when you have like shrapnel like that go into you and you have to go through the procedure? Do you just like hang out on base until you're ready, clear to go back out?
Yeah, I mean, I was clear to go out the next like week.
Oh, okay.
So
not that bad.
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, there was still a wound there, and I had to clean it and shit like that. But like,
you were good to go.
I was good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that.
And then the last time I got blown up was in a 7-ton, so I was pretty safe.
Yeah.
The 7-ton big truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, it's good.
You're
Very
like, oh, I'll
easy
do this all
explosion.
day.
Yeah, right? Give me a couple more of those. But yeah, man.
Dang. You don't get to talk to too many people that have been blown up, unless you're Bruce.
Yeah, unless you're Bruce.
I feel like Bruce's friends are like, they give each other street cred by like how many helicopter crashes they've been in.
Oh no.
They're like, who here's been in a helicopter crash? And it's like everybody raising their hands. Like 2. It's like a little less hands.
First deployment in Afghanistan, man, they kind of lower a CH-56, I think it is, like a twin prop, CH-53 maybe. And
Yeah,
like,
that's the one that like buzzes up.
That's
like
the
that.
Osprey.
Yeah, okay.
But we got lowered in on a 53, just like a twin prop, much like what you'll probably see in Lone Survivor. But they're like, you're gonna rappel down at night. Just drop your gear out of the back of the helicopter. You're just gonna rappel down. I was like, me and who? And they're like, you, and like you're gonna be first. You post security, and then 3 more people drop, and you guys will be good. And I was like, what? Like,
Are you going to be the first one down there?
Yeah, right. Like, there's no security down there.
By myself.
No. Yeah,
it's dark.
No, that's what their goal was. They're like, well, it's dark. Nobody's gonna be shooting at you. And I'm like, but we're in a fucking massive
Yeah,
helicopter.
you don't see this alien ship just land here?
Yeah, and
You don't think the helicopter's a giveaway?
I drop my gear, rappel out, post security, and it's probably the worst security anyone's ever posted because it's just me, like down there trying to post security, be a badass, and they're like, my 2 buddies drop down, and they're like, okay, well just go in the hut with the rest of the unit, and like we're walking, we're like, we have no idea where this base is, we don't, like we're just walking. With
Are we going the right way?
Yeah, we're going the right way.
Did anybody hear? Was that a left?
Yeah, man. I bet eventually we make it, and they're like, "Dude, you rappelled down near that hill." I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "The Taliban just like took that hill like 3 days ago."
You're like, dude,
and I was like, "Fuck."
You like land, and some Taliban dudes just like high five. She was like, "That was good.
That was good.
10 out of 10
for sure."
Hands
man.
up.
Yeah, right.
You're like, all right, dude. Hope his gun
Like,
jams.
Yeah, right. Hope for sure. But deployments were deployments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if anybody is ever interested in becoming a Marine, you definitely had like. It sounds like your experience is the postcard Marine Corps experience.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you did Marine One embassies because if people don't know, Marine Corps control the embassies.
Yeah, the security of the embassies.
Got all the deployments in there. You got blown up a handful of times.
Yes, a handful of times.
You have all your fingers and toes.
I do.
Yeah.
Missing some flesh, but all fingers and
Who
toes.
Who needs that stuff,
I
too?
know. I was very lucky being blown up.
Did you left some of that flesh over there for the kids, though?
The chocolate man. Yeah, for sure.
You left some chocolate man.
Yeah, there's some chocolate, yeah.
Those kids are savages.
Yeah,
I know.
Dude, yeah. I asked Bruce one time, I was like, you have the kids any candy? He's like, no. He's like, everyone's a threat. He's like, you don't let them that close to you.
That's the thing, man, is like,
He's like, you can be cool, but like, he's like, you don't let anybody that close to you. And I'm like, oh, I didn't. Okay. He's like, yeah, like 35 meters, you shooting, bro. He's like, if they're that close to you, could blow you up. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's never happened to me.
We had weird rules of engagement, though.
You were in a different kind of situation.
Yeah, we were
in the beginning.
In the wars.
Yeah, you were in the beginning.
In the wars. So like, the rules of engagement under Geneva Conventions was if you were an American, if you were French or Britain, this shit didn't apply. Like, if you were British, SAS, like, do your thing. But, like, if you're an American and you're offensive combat operations, if you get shot at, you can't shoot back until you positively identify the target. So if you were just roaming down the street with an AK,
and someone just
like
kicked off a few rounds at you?
Yeah, and I turned my head and you popped off a few rounds and put it back on your shoulder, like, I couldn't shoot you now because you don't pose a threat. You only pose a threat when I wasn't seeing you. So how can I get positive target acquisition and confirm my target because everyone was walking around with AKs back, like over there.
Tricky scenario.
Damn, you kind of gotta have eyes in the back of your head for
But
that.
also, there's this
rolling
thing called,
around like constantly under threat, and you can't do anything about it. That would piss me off.
But there's also this thing called suppressive fire, where you don't shoot at anybody. You just shoot and make sure the people who want to shoot at you don't.
Yeah, just like I'm gonna keep shooting bullets at your house.
I'm just gonna shoot in this general direction, and then hope you guys don't shoot me. So when they're like, "Did you kill anybody?" Be like, "Well, I was laying suppressive fire, so we don't know." There's no battle damage assessment with suppressive fire, so I was like,
it's like, yeah, you know,
loopholes.
If it ships, it fits.
Yeah, right.
Or if it fits,
If
whichever.
If it's a ships, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
send it.
Send
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, those rules are, it's tricky. It's definitely a tricky scenario that,
But we have looser rules. If I were to come into your house with a gun and you were armed, looser rules of engagement. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely pop a cap in me if I came to your house armed.
yeah, I mean, we could do that.
Yes.
We could accommodate you.
So, interesting dilemma.
When you got out of the Marine Corps, you studied finance. Like, you obviously did the Temple thing, got your bachelor's degree.
Yeah, man.
But you've also done some business, though, too, haven't you?
Yeah, man. I started a company in 2017. Company got pretty big. Got a couple government contracts, and then sold that company. And then I've been in different ventures ever since. Like, you know, and I might be an equity partner, but I also might be silent, right? So, like, silent equity partner, sometimes people just need advice. And I'm not the perfect entrepreneurial person. I don't know everything about every business ever, but
You're a good sounding board.
yeah, like I can give people kind of insight into how to structure their taxes, how to work their finances to where you get tax breaks, how to put yourself on payroll so you're not 1099ing yourself when it comes time to get a loan, you're not shit in the bed. You know what I mean? So company structure and, you know, type of entrepreneurial engineering, as we so like to call it, but that's kind of where I fit now is after I sold my company, I'd still work, but
Yeah, so you're kind of just like you had a positive experience as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And then you're now assisting other entrepreneurs
yeah,
hopefully achieve that same goal.
Yep.
And you do that full time, or is that with like that's just kind of like
That's kind of like if somebody approaches me, right? Like full time chief information security officer for a healthcare startup.
okay.
So the healthcare tech startup they came after me, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll help you guys implement information security, cybersecurity, whatever it needed to be.
Okay.
So, so I work for them now. Work is loose terms, right? But like, most of the time, and what I like to do is invest a lot in companies. So whether it be a gym, a bar, whatever it might be, I'm always open to kind of put my fingers in things.
See, Lincoln, how do you? That's interesting. So, like, you obviously took out of your your business that you cashed out of. You did pretty well.
I did. Yeah.
So then, like, you then, like, did you know what you wanted to do after that transition, or did you kind of take some time off? Like, how did that go?
I chilled for a little bit. I mean, I went through a crazy divorce and custody litigation. I mean, I'm still going through it, but like that took some time. That took some money.
Some focus.
Yeah, some focus. So I paused everything for a bit and kind of focused on that, where my the kids were involved. So try to make sure like they're good, positioned well. But now is most of the time where I'm actively seeking venture interests because passive income is way better than having to work your 9 to 5.
Interesting.
So
how do you go about like assessing these deals that people bring to you? Because I guess that's just like your network over the years knows you're interested in doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I have like an inner circle, and some of my inner circle are also business owners. They're also chief investment officers of hedge funds. Like
other people that
there are other people that even if I don't know something, I can still shoot a sounding. Like I can still shoot some information at them. They'll be like, okay, well that doesn't seem like it. Like one thing I cannot value is restaurants. Like I don't know how to actually pin a value to somebody. If you're like, well, I want to open a restaurant.
Restaurants are dangerous.
Very volatile.
Yeah,
Very volatile.
I don't know restaurants, but like
the key with restaurants is you turn them and burn them.
Turn them and burn them.
I was told that by an Italian man once.
Look at
It's
that.
like you set it up, you send it up, and then you send it down, and hopefully somebody else is holding the bill. and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, literally, that's what restaurants are. You make a great brand, and you hope you sustain it as long as you can, and then you get out before it goes down.
Yep.
Restaurants are tough because like there's so many. The biggest thing with restaurants is other restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep your vibe.
That's
going.
true.
So you got to know, like the most successful restaurateurs, they're like, "Why'd you shut the place down?" Be like, "Dude, vibe stopped." It's like you're only open for 5 years. Isaac Newton's been open for 30, and it's like, oh yeah, well,
Isaac Newton.
you know,
Isaac
it's like
is what it
we're
is.
trying to
Isaac's
do.
what
You
it
know,
is.
we're
Need a
popping.
beer?
Yeah, you need a beer. Like there's certain places that stay, and there's certain places that go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I got a guy for real estate. I got a guy for pretty much because I don't really know much about real estate either.
Okay.
So, but technology startups, consulting companies, things like that, where the tangible asset is either technology or your advice or your person, like a person.
Your knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I have a really good time and I have a lot of success in investing in those types of things.
We're just knocking cameras over and shit. Look at this guy. He's having a hard time. You good? You good? Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
That's why we have these flimsy tripods, man. Don't get nice cameras and shitty tripods. You taking risks.
I feel as though somebody made the decision here to get those tripods.
We had the yeah. We all share collectively some decisions.
Yeah,
on the tripod.
these are all bad decisions.
Yeah. There's 3 bad decisions here, and
Tripods.
2 of them might be mine.
I like it.
What do you like? What's next for you then? So like you do like the business stuff, but are you thinking about getting back into jiu-jitsu or like what's up?
I think
How about right now? No,
Sign him up.
slap and bump.
What if we did that and you just like just underhooks me over the table? Like oh shit, and then the episode just stops.
It just cuts.
Slap and bump. No, I don't think I would ever get be super high level competitive anymore. My body just hurts
Yeah.
too much. But I would love to get back on the mat in some consistent fashion. I do want to take a step back from working altogether. Like I don't want to. I kind of want to just.
You don't want to
stop
have
my
like
9 to
an
5
obligation to
Yeah,
work.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a different kind of level that people think like, oh, that dude's just chilling, but they don't realize that like the less you work, the more momentum you're gonna
Yeah.
have forward because you're only gonna be able to focus on like researching stuff you want to
Exactly.
do and things like that.
And you're taking a lot of risk. And I think people don't really understand that, right? Like, it's cool to be a business owner. It's cool to be an entrepreneur.
It's cool to talk about it.
Yeah. But it's so much risk to you as an individual, to your worth, to your ability to have cash flow. Like, if I invest 70 grand in a bar, my entire $70,000 is at risk. You know what I mean? And people don't understand that. And I may not have any say in the way that bars run at all, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the way the operating agreement's set up, whatever it is. But like the return on that side, that's what I'm doing it for.
Could be
return.
huge.
Yeah, it could be
huge upside. Yeah.
So a lot of people are risk averse. They're like, I don't want to do anything that's too risky. Well, that's what's going to keep you where you are. That's mediocrity. Like that's going to be your playing field for the rest of your life if you don't want to take risk. Because the only way you can actually step out of your bubble and start to learn things and see different parts of the world is you got to take risk. You got to step outside that comfort zone. You got to, fuck around and find out. Like,
I love that.
so
I'm not a big David Goggins guy, but he said something one time. It was like he wanted to be uncommon amongst uncommon men.
yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, that's me. I want to be that.
I want to be that.
I want to be that. And that's kind of what, like, I mean, I watch these motivational videos and things like that, but that's kind of like what always the push is for me. It's like, it's cool to do business and it's like, there's tons of people doing business, but like, can you be the best in what you're doing? Or can you, whatever, maximize some aspect of whatever you're in above somebody else or for your benefit, whatever the thing is, it just has to be that level.
Yeah. And just be uniquely and unapologetically you. Like, just be as authentic as you can fucking be. Because there's only one of you.
Yeah, be you, man.
Yeah, and people are always so busy fucking trying to be the next Instagram model, trying to be the fucking next Logan Paul, whatever it might be. But like, yeah, dude, like you have tacit value in who you are as a person right at the onset, like right at 0 day. You're good.
Yeah.
Just be that.
Just that choice. I wish I made that choice earlier in my life.
It does come in.
It comes with maturity. Yeah,
we're the same age. So it's like it comes with a level of
experience.
Yeah, and you had to fail. Like I've failed many times.
Yes.
Right? So like I'm not afraid to say like I fucked up.
I'm failing
a few times. So like you just gotta fuck up. I mean, and a lot of people don't want to take the risk to fuck up because now they think they're a failure, but in reality, everyone fucks up. It's just not on Instagram. It's not on Twitter. It's not, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Sometimes I struggle with. I wonder how many people actually are on social media, like that commentary, like that buzz or whatever, that like negativity that we all talk about. Like how many people actually are represented in that? Because if it's less than 1% of our population is actually like creating that negativity out there, we are some idiots for allowing that to happen. Like on a daily basis, like that negative energy. That's just like, that's why I never really got into Twitter, but that's why I stay off Twitter now. Because all I ever hear about it is just people just kind of like, taking it down. It's just not really like, it kind of lost traction to what it originally could have
intended
been.
for.
Yeah. There's a lot of just like fodder out
other than Elon Musk driving cryptocurrency through the roof on Twitter.
Yeah. And down and back up again.
On purpose.
Yeah. Are you into crypto?
I don't know anything about crypto. I've had wild success in the stock market.
Yeah. You're good on crypto.
Yeah, like
you're like, all right, good. I can gamble with the stocks. I did good. We're gonna.
Everyone tells me about crypto. I was like, I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
That's fair, dude. We won't talk about it though.
Yeah, I mean,
don't you fucking dare.
I'd imagine you have crypto or something.
You're a little bit. Andrew's more.
King.
Yeah, I got
Andrew's a crypto king here.
Crypto king.
He's getting me into helium. This fucking crazy shit.
He's
pyramid
like,
scheme.
Yeah, dude. We got all kinds of schemes going over here. We got to get more crypto. Whatever we got to do.
I'm just trusting him.
I will have to say something though. Like from.
I mean, we doubled our money at one point. I mean, we lost it all.
At one point. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Fundamentally, though, if you had to look at the trajectory of currency over time, fundamentally, crypto, or at least something that resembles the blockchain, will be the new. And what's today's date?
The 22nd.
Yeah, remember this, July 22nd, 2021. I'm saying right now, blockchain's going to be a fucking thing.
Oh, I know blockchain's a thing. I'm invested.
I'm telling you right now, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo.
Oh, they're all getting in. They're all figuring out how to set their portfolios up and everything. Everybody thinks everybody's like, oh, Bitcoin's going down. If you watch the currency getting traded, you see a lot of sales and you see the price going down, but the purchases are huge volumes.
Yeah, huge volume.
It's like, all right, so I'm going to sell half of one crypto every day because I need the money because I'm not a whale, right? I'm not a billionaire. This isn't actually happening. But like, think about it. Like, I got to keep selling my crypto to pay my bills because I'm over leveraged. It's like everybody's like, all right, cool. Price is going down. I'm a whale. I want that price to hit 28,000. If it hits 20,000, Bitcoin kind of like actually fails technically on the valuation if you hold any of that.
Yeah.
True. Hits almost 28,000, like I said. Hits 29.1. John executes all his buys. Literally 15 minutes later, I think it shot up to 31, and now it's just going to go back up because they had a press conference last night with Elon Musk, the one chick from ARK Investing, who I love her. Do you know who that?
I do.
What's her name?
She's ARK is that crazy hedge fund that has like a crypto desk that's worth $1 billion.
Yeah, Kathy Wood, I think her name is. So legit. Kathy Wood's a G. This woman is not to be fucked with.
But I also think people should really watch the custodial banks. And I don't know if you know the difference between like a regular bank and a custodial bank, but like
I mean I do, but our listeners probably do not.
So like just to kind of air out the difference between a bank, quote unquote, like your
Banking
WFS, and custodial banks. Custodial banks actually hold the money being transferred overnight. So like
they're lending the money to the banks that are giving you the money.
Giving you the money. Yeah. So like in theory, they're too big to fail. So they're called systemically important financial institutions, and the government will bail them out 100% of the time. Like they will not fail.
Yeah, because like our Federal Reserve System are private banks supported by the government.
Exactly. So you're talking about your JP Morgans, you're talking about your Wells Fargos, Banks of America, like those banks are custodial banks.
Look up I think his name
and they
is
buy massive amounts of crypto.
Pierpont. It's Pier Pierpont Morgan, but like back in the day. Like I'm pretty sure one of the Morgans, like the JP Morgan fam, like he bailed out
The Federal Reserve.
Pierpont. He went John. That's JP himself. He literally bailed out one of the European countries at a point.
Yeah.
I just read a book about it. They literally were like, he had so much money, like one of the countries was failing, and he like literally just rolled in. Was just like, here you go, you guys can borrow some gold. I got some.
And that's when our currency was backed by gold. But like nowadays,
our currency stopped being backed by gold. Well, World War I, we abandoned gold because like all the European countries needed to make money to support all the shit they were buying. And then after World War I, a lot of countries, France actually was the wealthiest country in Europe after World War I. They like accidentally fell into all the gold, basically. And England and all the other gold went to the United States because during World War I, the United States was making all the shit for them to blow each other up with. So the United States was like, yeah, we're not going to get involved. We're making all the money. All the gold's coming here. So after World War I, they were all like, we need to make the gold balance back out again. The United States needs to like start financing shit in Europe so that like we can get some of this gold back. And the United States was like, nah, we got this thing called the stock market going off over here. We're going to take all that gold that you guys want back, and we're going to throw it in the stock market. And then when shit crashes someday, all that gold, oops. Anyway, so then a couple European countries figured their way back out into the gold standard, and then World War II happened, and then everybody bounced back off again because they needed to pay for shit again. Yep. And then post World War II, they were just like, oh, we're not doing this gold thing anymore.
Now inflation's at 17,000%, and we're paying off, all of America's debt with like pennies.
Yeah, he actually saved America. He bailed out an American government. I thought it was a European one. It was actually an American government. Yeah, legit. I think everybody was real mad. That's the hypocrisy of this whole thing. Everybody was real mad about the United States government bailing out JP Morgan Chase in 2008. But if you go back a few hundred years, there wouldn't be an America
if it wasn't for JP Morgan.
People forget history, though.
France or Spain would have rolled in and been like,
yeah, people just out here collecting sticks, man. No one goes to the tree.
Let me get California.
I think it's crazy at our age, like what we lived through. Like if you think about it, like terrorist attack, 2 wars, financial crisis, recession. Like what?
Yeah, this shit's been flying.
Dude.
Pandemic.
Global pandemic.
Yeah, dude.
Like, holy shit, man.
Can't forget about the pandemic,
pandemic.
I almost did.
Yeah.
Real or not? Like,
can't
real forget about it. It's in the ring.
Yeah.
It's all too fresh. We don't see it as a big deal as it is.
The one thing that we have over all these punk kids, and that makes me sound really old. This probably affects you the most because, like, you work with young kids too. It's like we didn't have cell phones
growing up. Yeah.
Like we had me and Bruce had cell phones before because we had single moms. So like we had to get,
Yeah.
They had to find us. That's why you have a cell phone.
Boys, yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden in high school and everything, like you saw like the rich kids getting the phones and the iPods, and the iPod Nano was out, and then I was just like, oh shit.
Also,
this Facebook thing, and then the whole world went just shit.
It's like we couldn't use the internet and the phone at the same time. And like kids these days have no idea about that.
Yeah.
There's things that kids do not, that like just don't even connect. Like there's things that just don't even connect. Like we were talking, like we were training one time, and I'll coach kids classes sometimes with like whoever's professor in charge. And the kid was like, oh, something about Karate Kid. And I was like, yeah, the Karate Kid's a good movie. And he was like, yeah, I love Jaden Smith. And I literally wanted to kick this fucking kid in the chest.
Push the brakes, kid.
I was like, hold the phone. Jaden Smith is not the Karate Kid. Jaden Smith is a punk.
Right.
When he's doing that little like split thing,
yeah.
That doesn't do anything in the real world. You know what I'm saying? When you talk, you know what the Cobra Kai?
Bro, Cobra Kai.
That was the real threat. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Jaden Smith's over in China with Jackie Chan as his coach.
They don't know anything about Mr. Miyagi.
I didn't even see that Karate Kid. I didn't even see it.
Don't
the one with Jaden Smith.
Don't waste your time.
I thought you said you didn't see the original one.
No, what the fuck?
It was about to be a
bro, I seen that shit like 10 times.
fight
bro.
on site.
He was about to jiu-jitsu your ass.
Yeah, bro. I have no defense. I don't know how to do that shit. I get wrapped up easy.
Yeah, you just pop.
He'll
something.
just go straight to a heel hook.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, bro.
it's Gracie Possum.
I'm gonna have to like hit him with a camera or something, bro. I got no
I mean,
defense.
you got 3 tripods over here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, dude.
They're pretty bad. Just kick one over, it'll follow.
He will save the camera before he fights you.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll just apply for the giveaway.
Get a GoPro,
Plug
hell
the
yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah, I'll win the camera we're giving away. What if that happened?
Not yet.
That can't happen?
It can, but not
Could
yet.
I win it?
Sure, if you want.
Oh, that's no, dude. You can't. Giveaway?
Yeah, Bruce found out about it over here, and he was like, how does anybody know you actually gave it away? And I'm like, well, we'll make a thing about like
Valid
how he
point.
gave
Yeah,
it away.
we'll
Or whatever.
post it.
But I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of organization rolling around checking people for that.
Oh, for sure. Make sure you're not fraud and embezzling.
Yeah.
I
think we voted
you
for
win
it.
the GoPro
We
and also take it off your taxes at the end of the year. Win the GoPro.
I expensed it, but I also won it.
embezzle a
That's
GoPro.
yeah, they're like, yo, how'd you get that new truck tax free? I'd be like, well, I expensed it, and then I gave it to myself
That's
as a
gift.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Loopholes.
Tell you, man. You got to find them.
Yo,
Yo.
it kind of sounds like this has been given up before.
Hey, I'm not.
You ever charge
not-
anybody for that one?
I cannot confirm nor deny tax loopholes. I will say one thing: tax avoidance is not illegal. Tax evasion is illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point of distinction.
Yeah. People that don't know.
I mean, I have no qualms with tax avoidance.
I hate the IRS.
Yeah, I think the IRS is just wasteful, and their practices I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I understand the reasons for taxes. We need police and things like that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff we don't need that we're currently paying for,
Mhm.
and that's why we avoid it.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
agree
anything
with you.
criminal. It's just like, hey, we work really hard for all this money.
For
We
sure.
took risks. Why do I got to pay more than everybody
Everybody
else?
else.
I thought the gamble was going to pay off.
Right?
I'm not going to pay all these taxes. Where's my money?
Hashtag embezzle GoPro.
This episode's gonna be called embezzle the GoPro.
Now, theoretically, if somebody wanted to embezzle a GoPro, how many could they embezzle per year? Like an infinite
They
amount?
they would have to keep it under. I think the threshold for auditing is about 17,000 for de minimis.
Mm,
De minimis items. De minimis items would be like something you don't need to run your business, like a GoPro.
yeah, interesting. But you would also have to make over a certain amount of money per year.
Yes,
So if I just don't report any of that money,
that's evasion. And that's I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant, but I would imagine you would get caught.
Can you justify a GoPro to be used like as a necessity to run your business? Like, what if you're like, this is the only thing I use to record everything I
yeah,
do?
what if I have an
If you're-
OnlyFans account?
Well, if your primary source of income is video footage, and it's video footage like from a GoPro,
Mm.
i.e. OnlyFans. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can set up a GoPro in your bedroom, run your OnlyFans. Don't claim the $1 million subscription you make a month. I mean, you could.
What you
deduct
do
the
is
GoPro, but
you hope
Crazy.
OnlyFans pays out in crypto, and then you
Yes.
have that imported
Bro, they gotta do that.
API into your wallet.
Did they
and-
tax crypto yet?
I mean, they're trying to figure it out. Hopefully not.
Oh.
I think Bitcoin. When I do my taxes, like, did you sell or buy any crypto with us? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, did you answer that?
Yeah, like
I didn't sell any.
I about to say,
I
they
bought
just
some.
trust that you answer that correctly.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
How,
Why would you
that's the
tell
thing. It's like,
yourself?
how are you gonna figure out how much crypto I
Crypto I
got?
bought, yeah.
You
I guess-
get
I
the
guess
wallet.
Got to
You
keep
gotta
track
come-
of
You
it.
gotta come get it from me, and then you get to get the passwords.
Is there some like crazy?
forgot
key for
them.
the past? Yeah.
I forgot.
I
them.
forgot all 23 keys.
Yep.
So you should have made them 20. I got a short memory. I'm sorry.
There's 23 words. Those random words.
Yeah, but what if you had a bunch of crypto and they took your wallet, but you're like, if I can't have it, you guys can't have it. Suckers.
You could
Just
effectively stop it.
You know what that's called? Kamikaze crypto.
Yeah, kamikaze crypto.
It's like when the tax man's going to take it, but you don't let him have it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you got that paperweight, buddy.
It's like reverse ransomware.
I wonder how much crypto of the 21 million coins or whatever, reverse ransom, gets into their shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I raise your ransom. Now you owe me crypto. So you put this virus on my computer, it's damaging. That energy company that the pipeline that got hacked,
Yeah.
they got all that crypto back that they gave them in the ransom. because they like tracked it somehow. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
What's
there's
tracking?
there's ways of doing that, right? Like there's encryption footprints and things like that. But
Well, it's on a blockchain. You literally can like if you know
Yeah.
like the serials on the coins or on
exactly.
the, you can just be like, this one was used in this transaction.
But that's why all the healthcare ransom that's happening, they get paid cash. It's genius.
Yeah, can you Venmo me this ransom? Be like,
Well, I think like they're doing something crazy like that, like PayPal or Venmo or
yeah, I don't know.
wire transfers. But
Yeah, next to know, Bruce is at your door.
yeah,
Hey guys, you guys got some crypto in here we heard about?
next thing you know, Bruce is yes, very.
Uncle
very
Sam
true.
wants that.
It's
And
like
all
that.
this ordinance you guys have too. We're gonna have to take this too.
The entire ransomware organization that disappeared. I see you, Bruce.
What happened to that?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yo, is there insider trading on crypto yet? Like, what if somebody gave me a tip about a like, be like, yo, we're about to take a whole bunch of crypto off the market. You know what I'm saying? Buy. Volume's going down.
Hey, Bruce, man, just let us know, dude.
Yeah, just let us know about this crypto buys,
You
dude.
can, you can throw gang signs.
Yeah, just crypto buy,
Yeah.
don't buy.
You can't tell people the
Oh,
signals, bro.
I've had to blur that out.
You just see him like Sasquatching behind like a
Right.
camera. Be like, that looks like Bruce. He's really got that Sasquatch down. Dude, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on and like hanging out.
No, man,
You're our
thanks for
first
having me,
jiu-jitsu
dude.
guy.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to come to the gym.
That's
You're at
legend.
Almeida, right?
Almeida, yeah. We'll find out. Dude, we could just buy some mats and meet in Tyler Park.
You know how many people would be like, the cops would definitely stop us.
Yeah. What if we just,
Backyard
like,
wrestling.
What if we did that? Just like rolled a mat out someplace and just like start going in.
That would be crazy footage, though.
Just like
Yeah, it would be.
No, that
Yo,
would be, that would be
what
dope
could we call-
footage.
Yeah.
For real.
dude,
That's dope
do
footage.
that. Let's rolls in the wild.
Yeah. And
It rolls in the
wild.
Rolls in the wild.
I got a Tahoe.
Yo.
I got a Tahoe with massive room. I can throw mats back there, easy.
Dude, I really want to get mats so like I can like
Let's do it, man.
I don't know,
You can practice your hip
because I
throws.
feel like because like a lot of people train at other gyms. They don't train at my gym. And I'm like, well, let's hang out and train. It's like, well, you can't come to this gym. It's like, well, this gym's closed. It's like, well, let's just get these mats out and fucking train right here in the park.
I know Nick and Danny are doing free drop-ins at this point. I mean, it's packed. Their mats are swamped, but
Yeah,
I mean, they welcome any affiliate for sure.
yeah, for sure. I'm just into learn. Like, there's so much. We live in a great area now for it. It took some time
Yes.
to ramp up in our area. Like back there was jiu-jitsu in California and you know Southwest United States before it kind of got over here, and then we had New York, and then it kind of like disseminated down to
It
Philly.
is true.
So it took us some time to get that. And now I feel like we have such a good, like Baltimore up to New York City. There's a decent amount of gyms
There
now
is a very good core of gyms
that
that aren't like really mainstream affiliated. Like, I mean,
No, that's kind of interesting
Yeah.
too, because like that Gracie reputation kind of was coveted as like, well, you're not a Gracie affiliate, like
and you're
okay,
not.
well, you're a McDojo.
you're a
then. Like,
McDojo,
this
yeah,
is
for sure.
voodoo karate stuff here. So then that was a little tainted, but now you've seen like no name gyms,
Yeah.
you know, go to tournaments and apply what they've been practicing
Exactly.
against you know traditionalists,
Like
I
Studio
guess, and just
84.
raping them.
Studio 84.
Yeah.
Danielle Kelly goes out of Nicky Rod too is out of Studio 84 in Jersey, man, and those guys are savages too.
For sure. I'm just all about anybody that's about jiu-jitsu, honestly. I don't even care.
I mean,
Sometimes people get weird. They're like, oh, we don't let people train, outsiders train here. Or they don't like
when
cross-training, but it's kind of like, it's kind of a lifestyle / sport. Like, why shouldn't I be, like, I can't go meditate with that dude over there?
Yeah.
Like, I can't go to this doctor. I can't go to this dentist. Like, if you're ever in a gym or something like that where that happens, unless it's like, hey, you don't want to go train there because it's not safe. Like, if somebody's looking out for you, that's one thing. But if they're like, you're not allowed to train there because you train
Yeah.
here or there, it's like, well, I kind of think I should go train there now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when I first came back, and I was at 10th Planet, like I told people, like my home gym's 10th Planet, like they wouldn't like shut me out or anything like that, but like they would look at me weird. They're like, we don't do leg locks here, or
It's like, okay, we don't
do
protect
this, or
our
we
ankles.
don't do that. You know what I mean? So
My thing is, it's ultimately it's a combat sport, and if the sport goes and transcends and moves to another level, ultimately the sport is reflecting the real world. Like, that's what these sports were for. It's for practice for real world.
Yeah.
So, like, if in the real world you try and gun me down, I roll in on your ankle and snap your leg off, don't you want to practice for that?
Right.
But it's like, oh, no. I'm going to be wearing my gi in the bread aisle, and that's when the fight's going to break out. It's like, no.
Of Giant.
That's what's going to happen. Like,
meet me at the Whole Foods.
Yeah, it's like, let me take my jacket off first. I haven't trained gi in a while. It's like, what?
No, man. I mean, I feel it, dude. And the sport is so dynamic, man. And I think people don't really. When I started in 2004, man, some of the lapel guards that are, none of that existed. Like,
yeah.
And the sport is evolving so rapidly.
Now it's crazy fast because there's a lot of influences from Russia.
That's
with
true.
like Sambo and like all that influence on the UFC. Like, people are starting to be like, we're not safe here.
No.
So we got to like do something.
Eric's gym, NPR, is really good with Sambo.
Yeah, that's like a national training.
It's a national
center,
training
right?
center. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you told me that.
Yeah, and I think a couple of his athletes actually just won Sambo Pan Ams.
Oh, no way.
Like literally a week ago.
That's a great facility.
Yeah.
That's a really nice place.
I trained Sambo there for like 3 weeks and then figured out that I didn't like it getting thrown. I was getting rolled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting rolled up. I know break falls, but like break falls don't help you when someone is like drop sayonagi in your face and
you're just sweeping your legs out from under you. It's like, well, yeah, my break fall's kind of invalid now because only half my body's breaking this fall.
Yeah, exactly.
My legs are up there.
And they're still up there.
Yeah.
As my head hits the mat.
And then it's like they just stuff your feet in your mouth. You could try.
Doesn't sound like
We
fun.
should definitely.
Yeah, it's a great sport.
training.
You should definitely come train.
Okay.
We should definitely coordinate training though.
Yeah, I definitely want to come train.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down for sure. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll be there.
How about you, big guy?
Oh, you're gonna train too?
I'll be. I've never done it in my life, but
That's kind of also
like
why
to
I
know.
want to get the mats. Because I feel like sometimes girls, like my wife or whatever, be like, oh, you want to just get a little comfortable with this? And then, like, you see it's not so bad. Like, just come train.
Why
Or,
not?
like, somebody to come, it's just like, yo, let's just go. Like, I'm not going to hurt you.
no, yeah, I'm not
Just
afraid
come-
of it. I just never
come,
done
just, like, just come, like, in this fucking yard right here. You can see it's like, this is just what it's about. So when you go to class next week, it's just like, you don't feel so out of place. Sometimes you do, like, I'm very hands-on in class. Like, I'm very much like, you're a white belt. I'm going to try and help you in any way possible to get ahead. Like, I'm going to be like, stop doing this, don't worry about that, things like that. But sometimes people are just like, not that. So you go in there and you're like an awkward white belt. And you're just like, okay, like, I feel like, how do I do this again? Like, you don't feel comfortable asking questions and shit.
And some people, man, I mean, some people, they have an ego. And some people will roll hard with you. I mean,
yeah,
it sucks. And
you
like,
get people with that crackhead energy.
Yeah, for sure. Like the spaz energy where they roll hard with you.
It's like, okay.
It's just going, you need to be at a level 4, bro. You're at like a level 9. You need to bring it back a bit.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. I'm going to have tacos after this class. I don't need to go home with one less elbow.
Yeah.
Like, I had a dude that would try and throw an arm bar on me from, like, any position. Like, he would just try and throw his legs into the bar. And I'd be like...
And just drop him.
And just bah! What are you... like, seriously, dude, my arm is getting tired from your bullshit. Like, can you try and actually do something?
Can you try the other arm?
Let's just... like, what are you doing, dude? It's just a bam.
Hey, do you roll righty or you roll lefty?
I switch.
You're ambidextrous. You can
Well,
hit techniques from both sides?
I have to. Because, like...
That's okay.
Right from the beginning, I knew that, like, it wasn't a habit I was trying to get into.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Hitting it from both sides.
That's what I'll do to white belts. I'll literally be like, don't do that side again. Like, they'll literally go for fit-ins, and they'll just keep going on the one side. Keep going on the one side. I'll be like, no, left.
I have certain subs from the left and certain subs from the right.
Yeah.
But if I roll with you a lot, you know the way I position, the way I set you up, what I'm going to go for. So sometimes I'll be throwing something crazy from the left side that I'd usually throw on the right, and it'll work. But, like...
Yeah, not usually.
Yeah, not usually. Because
my triangle, I'm trying to really perfect triangles right now because I just, like, lazy with the triangle. And if you're just like a little too thick, I'm just like, I'm not even gonna try. But like, I'm like, that's such a waste of time. I gotta at least like stop trying to skip this. So
triangles are dangerous, man.
Yeah, I find myself get caught up in them sometimes. So I'm like, I feel like if I get really good at them, I'll be able to identify that slip sooner. When
and if you don't, and if you don't like lock in the triangle, you can always sweep from the triangle.
Yeah, that's what I end up going to. Is like I just hook inside the leg and just try and take it to the side. When I like, a lot of times I can just finish it right from there.
Yeah,
and it's just like, what am I doing? And then I get took, and then I should have just got you in that triangle.
Oh, that's funny.
But dude, thanks for coming on. Where do you want people to follow you? Do you like have social media?
I have private social media, man. But again, divorce and litigation.
Yeah. If you want to talk to Silas, you got to go through me.
Yeah.
Key, bro.
I'm his interim agent for all things YouTube and social media.
For sure.
So,
man, thanks for having me, though.
No, dude, definitely. We'll have to have you back, and I'm real stoked about training. So,
yeah.
But if you, dude, hopefully you got a lot out of this episode. This was a great time for me personally.
Yeah.
He had a good time.
Yeah, we
had a good time.
Bruce had a good time.
Bruce had a good time. So hopefully you guys had a good time. So like, subscribe, follow, go enter to win a GoPro. And if you need anything, if you're not looking so good and you need help with your business, reach out to Gilmar.
What's up?
That's right.
I mean, if your business is still trash, at least he'll make you look good.
Yeah, hit me up while supplies last. You know, I'm getting emails left and right.
Yeah. He is stretched thin right now. We might have to hire another shooter soon. So.
Yeah, let me know what's up.
Yo.